Guys, what's more surprising? Brian Dable being gone? Well, damn it, that's not even surprising. The Bills, that was bad. Stafford, May, those are you guys. Those are your two MVP favorites right now. I don't want to hear nothing about John Taylor. We'll get to that in a sec. But other than that, since I do give spotlight to irrelevant teams, Jaguars, Panthers, what are we doing, guys? Like, come on, let's get locked in here. But other than that, play of the day. Let's go.
The two together. Down the sideline, darts throw is caught by Slayton. One-handed catch from Darius Slayton. How in the world did he do that?
He's fighting Stevenson and just sticks out that left hand. That is as good of a catch. I can tell you that ball is hard as a rock. Too many men. Does he get off? Does.
No, God, please, no.
Who's got it?
Brian Dable has been fired.
Wow.
As the New York Giants head coach.
Allen in trouble.
Allen
Directing traffic, throws, he's got Samuel for a first down.
Chargers franchise all-time receptions record.
My favorite part is going to be when Keenan Allen is much older. And
Well, I would like to, but I will say that your second string, your backup quarterback is a good quarterback, and he's had some very good games for you, and your first string quarterback has the potential, I think, to be a great
as well. With Ernest Jones out, third down, 11. Here comes Knight, knocked away again. Loose. Here comes Lawrence. Holy smoke! Oh, there was the blitz. He was hit. The ball was free. Picked up by Lawrence. Will he take it in? Yes, sir.
They got second and short.
Hey, you're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Taylor with Warren blocking. Touchdown, Taylor! An appropriate finish in Berlin, Germany. It's Taylor's game.
Ready to go from the historic Olympiastadion in Berlin, Germany as the Atlanta Falcons.
Penix wants the snap and he beats the play clock. Gets hit hard from the backside. That ball is out and the Colts have it. Cameron Bynum came from the backside. Back. Jonathan Taylor ducking inside. He is in. A chart that has a lot of good running backs. Michael Badgley on the first kick of the day. He stays in and gets the handoff and gets the touchdown to tie the game. A career-high 5th rushing touchdown of the year for Algier. Last week against Pittsburgh's tough defense. Now Jones takes a shot into double coverage. End zone. Warren, the rookie. Beg your pardon, it's Pierce. Over this year. Penix floats it. London reaches out and hauls it in. Touchdown, Drake London. We'll bring an extra body again. Jones, deep shot, dangerous pass picked off. It's Jesse Bates. Here he comes. Now drops back. Jones under pressure. That ball is out. They'll ride it with Taylor and a first down. Little pitch for Taylor, and he's not going to get there. The Falcons defense stands inside its own 10. Here is Algier looking for the end zone and the lead. Touchdown Atlanta. Easy. Under pressure, Jones lofts it up there. Ward breaks the tackle, steps out of bounds inside the 30. From 44 to tie the game for the Colts, and Badgley delivers.
And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun. Please like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the Week 10 recap. We'll be going through all these games. You just saw the highlights from that first game. Also in the intro at the end of it, I guess. That was kind of an anticlimactic way to put it. But anyway, you guys just saw the Colts knock off the Falcons in overtime. I mean, like, again, I said it was a little bit anticlimactic, so not really. But we have all the games to go through Week 10, 11, I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 12, something like that. We have a lot. I think we have an extra game next Sunday, too. We keep, I guess, ramping these up. But Massive Sunday Night Football coming up next Sunday, but we just saw this Sunday. And the kickoff Sunday was, again, the second to last international game, the first ever game in Berlin, whatever, where is it? Whatever this place is called. I can't pronounce that. That's German. But again, German call, German whatever. It doesn't matter. The Colts moved to 8-2, best starts through 10 games since 2009. As they bounce back here in Berlin, they moved 8-2. They will in fact be on their bye because they want to square some things away. This overtime victory was obviously led by JT. We'll get to in a little bit. Falcons fall to 3-6. They've now lost 4 straight games for the second straight season, or consecutive season, I guess is the best way to put it. And again, it's all led by their coaching staff. And again, that play call at the end of the first half, where they would have been up by, they would have had a chance to get a field goal, where they decided not to call that timeout that would have given them, I think, 30 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, on that 3rd and long situation for the Colts. But on that for the Falcons, they now have to host the Panthers next week in what is obviously a must-win game for them in any sort of playoff hopes they want. But considering how they're going right now, and Raheem Morris being the former Rams defensive coordinator, I love what they're doing. Keep on doing your thing, Falcons. But anyway, for them, other than that, I mean, I don't have too much to get too deep into on them because they're obviously a pretty incompetent team. But other than the fact they're obviously very talented, defensively, they got a lot of pressure. In fact, I wouldn't say their pressure rate was exactly translating to maybe, obviously, the passers that the Broncos have, which is, again, is on a historic pace, despite maybe not being also on a historic pressure rate. But again, this is kind of like a little bit more lower comparison if we're thinking about it. But maybe not, because the Falcons passers have been just as good as the Broncos, at least the past 2 weeks. They, for only the second time in history, they have had 6 or more sacks in back-to-back games, so you can see right here. 6 or 7, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, only second time in their team history. You got to go back to 2002 for the other time that happened. Again, that's according to ESPN research. I stole that one, guys. I would not have thought of that one up there. But other than that, yeah. So, for their defense overall, honestly, guys, they got a lot of pressure. I understand that. But their gap discipline was absolutely terrible in this game. Obviously, again, it doesn't take a freaking genius to know it. Again, there's a reason that Jonathan Taylor ran for 240 yards. But on the 83-yard touchdown, which made up, again, also the longest career touchdown for Jonathan Taylor, and also the tied for the longest run of his career, that really wasn't bad defense. I'm completely honest with you guys. They stuffed him at the point of attack. He probably only got 3 yards there. Problem was, the edge defender, or whatever you want to call him, on that on the four-fold front there, again, on the left side, I don't want to get too deep into what that is, again, on an offensive perspective. But that guy, I think it might have been J.D. Bertrand, if I'm not mistaken, wherever he is. Yeah, he was not where he's supposed to be. That's why Jonathan Taylor was able to break that out. Being the guy he was, 83 yards to the house, and that's how you get this much amount of rushing yards. But on that, I mean, yeah, they had terrible gap discipline, but I do think there was, again, something there. This is the most consistently, flash we've seen out of this Falcons defense since, honestly, 2016, and even before that. It's like they're more consistent than that season. Jesse Bates looked like he was from 2023 as well. Again, that year he was a first-team All-Pro. He had his best game in a long time after this one, but again, he's obviously still an elite player. Bijan, not Bijan. Bijan bounced back in a big way. Yeah, his numbers weren't exactly there. Only getting 17 carries was a little bit of an issue, but still had a big-time game. Tyler Alligator with those 2 touchdowns now is at 5, and I think that is a career high for him. But on that, I have, again, a couple things from him. Yeah, London got locked up, but yeah, still did stuff. Again, he had a pretty productive game, but again, he was not getting open against Sauce. I mean, the touchdown was pretty funny. But still, again, not his greatest game. Yeah, Penix, he had awful footwork with limited place to play. Again, a lot of those were just inaccurate because he did not place his feet again, show good footwork there. Obviously, Kyle Pitts didn't really look great as well. Watts was shaky at the catch point in terms of, again, him being able to break up passes. But, again, he was very aggressive and physical, which is what I liked. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much about the Colts. Danny Dimes wasn't great under pressure. The offensive line had a bunch of miscues, but they were still able to get done. Tyler Warren has broken the Colts rookie record for tight ends with 50 catches. Alec Pierce continues to be a big-time threat. JT, we don't need to talk about him. He's in the MVP race. If he scores 30 touchdowns, he has my vote. Defensively, I don't know. They're good. They've got the talent look good there. Their secondary is a lot of playmakers. Nick Cross, Kenny Moore, who isn't, again, as reliable as a guy like Sauce Gardner. All 3 of those guys are premier playmakers in this defense, and they'll continue to make plays. They have one of the more fun secondaries, at least in the league right now. Yardage, Colts at 519 is inexcusable if a Falcons team was shocking this game with the overtime. 2 turnovers by the Colts were crucial, both by Danny Dimes. He has to be more aware in the pocket. I wish I had a better way to explain that, but I don't. That is all I got for you guys here. A lot of other things I could talk about. We'll get to those maybe on the Week 11 power rankings. Probably not, I'll be honest with you guys, but we'll see about that. Let's get to our next game, which was a stunner.
Miami native James Cook back home as Cook, Josh Allen, and the Bills look to make it 3 in a row.
Tua taking a deep shot, looking for Waddle. 2 men down there, and it is picked off. Cole Bishop. Tua, touchdown. Malik Washington.
2nd down and 11 for Miami. Tua looking deep, taking a deep shot. He's got Waddle down there. Touchdown! No! To James Cook. Cook inside the 30, lost the football. It's out! A scramble for it! And Miami has it! 3rd down. Allen to the end zone, and it is intercepted! Oh, no huddle here. Allen taking a shot down the sideline. Coleman adjustment. Keon Coleman. Touchdown. Now Allen with plenty of time. Shakir's open. Can he get there? Shakir. Oh, hell no. Bringing a blitz. Cole Bishop's coming to him. And down there. He's got it. Intercepted by Hairston. And now on the return with a flag down. Achane sneaks through. Achane, 2nd level, turns on the Jets. Achane, touchdown. Allen directing traffic. Chubb is there. Chubb with a big shot. Allen completes it to Shakir. Allen pump fakes, now chased out. On the move, throws on the run. He's got a wide open Hawes, and it's a touchdown. In November, but it's very warm. On 3rd down, Achane. He's got room again. See you later. Another touchdown for Achane.
Oh, damn. What do I got to say here? Dolphins absolutely stunned the Bills in a prototypical trap game is what a lot of Bills fans are going to say to cope. Yeah, you think I'm going to let you guys get away with that? Hell no. Dolphins, first win versus the Bills in the last 7 attempts is their last win against them was, look at in Miami back in 2022 when Ken Dorsey, their old offensive coordinator, who's absolutely a horrible play caller, just going to tell you guys that right now, that's what this Bills offense looked like in this game. As in that game they lost 21-19. This game was not really as forgiving as the Dolphins dominated this game thoroughly, holding the Bills without a score until the 4th quarter. Bills started to get crazy with Josh Allen there, put up some points, but realistically this game was over by the end of the 3rd quarter. As obviously Devon Achane did his thing. They get their 3rd win of the season. They have now won 2 out of the last 3 and are probably on their way to doing something crazy this year. I'm joking. But they'll be playing someone not great next week, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, they get the Commanders in Madrid. Yes, Spain. I don't think they've ever heard of NFL football, but we'll see, or American football, but we'll see how that turns out. Bills fall at 6-3. They are not looking great. That's all I'll say there. After that 2-game losing streak back in week 5 and 6, they look right back there as they have failed to get their 7th win of the season there. They're going to stick with 6 for now. But, yeah, they have the Bucs next week in a very underrated and crucial matchup there as well, which I think is the least of people's highlights for next week's games. But anyway, for the Bills, yeah, O-line couldn't win at the point of attack, again, rendering man-based run game useless, which, again, is how they were able to run the ball so well. Obviously came in the game leading the league in rushing yards per game. Sorry, I just started a crap ton there. But, yes, I want to see the Ravens get back up there. They probably won't, but who knows. But, yes, James Cook, he had a bad fumble. He had like 2 or 3 okay runs, but they could not win at the point of attack. And you, as a Bills fan, you know if that offensive line doesn't win at the point of attack, they're a bad running game. But when they do, they're absolutely really, really good. And you might say that's boom or bust, but again, trust me, guys, it is very hard to be able to, again, it wasn't like the Dolphins exactly won at the point of attack, but they were not giving up at any ground. Which again, I guess you could say they won, but again, really, they weren't winning. But still, it's very hard to beat the Bills there. So again, the fact that I guess the Dolphins did it, at least from what I saw a little bit on film, it really wasn't again too clear though. To be honest with you guys, again, they kind of just muddy things up. To be honest, there. Josh Allen, it looked like hero ball right back to 2022. That Bills team was one of the more talented Bills teams they've ever had. Problem with that team was Von Miller tore his ACL on Thanksgiving that season. They offensively had absolutely no sort of identity other than Josh Allen doing whatever the hell he was doing that season, and as a result, they obviously lost badly in that divisional round. That is where this team is going right now. A lot of people are saying, it's the Patriots division now. Well, I mean, there's definitely a point there, but the Patriots are, what are they now, a game and a half up on them. I honestly think that, again, if the Bills lose and the Patriots win next week, that will be a huge issue for them. But honestly, guys, the Bills are going to have to keep winning games because the Patriots will not be losing anytime soon. That game against New England in week, what is it? They're going to have to win the game. Obviously, they play next time they play them, and obviously they're going to need someone else to upset them in the division if they want a shot at winning it. Realistically, considering how easy the Patriots schedule will get to. We'll get more into that sort of track later, but as you guys can see, they are second, and the Patriots don't have a game in hand on them. Considering before it was literally Bills-Patriots, again, later in the season. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that can still happen. There's a lot of hypotheticals here. But the Bills playing the Patriots, and what I think it was like week 16, something like that. That game would be decided the division, and obviously with them both having 2 losses. But now the ceiling for the Bills is lower than the Patriots. Patriots ceiling is like 13 wins right now, guys, or 14 even if they somehow get to that because of how easy their schedule is. But I just wanted to put that out there. Other than that, receiving wise, Khalil Shakir is not looking great. Keon Coleman, great play, but he's not getting open until he does get open. This offense does have a lot of issues. Dalton Kincaid got injured. He looked good when he was out there. Dawson Knox didn't really block that well. Other than that, though, this snaps their 7-game winning streak for the Dolphins. I already talked about that. They have to overhaul the second level of pockets to control gaps. That's on defense. They must do a better job with that. Because there are some gaps. Well, the D-line is winning it with the leverage. They're not being able to make the play, and that is putting the linebackers, especially a guy like Terrell Bernard, who had his worst game of the season, in situations where he is not making the open field tackle. It's just that simple. And that's a huge issue. I think those are things that they'll be able to improve definitely throughout the season, but it's going to take definitely a couple of weeks for that to again really be seen. Leverage was, atrocious. It was really bad. Not on the D-line, more of, again, like I said, with the linebackers. Also, I don't think the secondary really knew what the hell was going on either. But other than that, this was definitely a rough game. Other than that, that's all I have for them. For the Dolphins, though, again, I already talked about a great win. Tua still threw 2 picks. I didn't really care about them because they were both good picks. I don't know. Those were awesome. This team is not real, bro. Again, they didn't give a point into the fourth quarter. Devon Achane is this offense. If anyone, talks about how he's getting too many touches, until he gets injured, guys, just shut the hell up. I mean, guys, on 28 touches, he had 225 yards and 2 touchdowns, both of which were 38 and 58 9-yarders. Give this guy the ball every single play. Let him do his thing. I don't really care about the usage and the balance. This offense is literally no one except him and Jalen Waddle, who also had a 38-yard touchdown. He had a big game. Pretty simply put, guys, Devon Achane and Jalen Waddle, this offense. And if it's not going to those two guys, what the hell are you guys doing? Offensive line also their best game of the season, at least run blocking wise. Other than that, though, Minka finally is starting to make plays. He was a big-time player in this game. He's had some decent games this year, but none that looked, again, where he looked as good as this one. Zach Sealer and Bradley Chubb looked like, again, premier players, which they have been at points in their career. Zach Sealer's been really good this year, but that's just, again, a thing there. Next month is cake. If they can get this shit together. My bad if I swore. But, the Dolphins have a very good opportunity to win some things. I've been going along too much on this game. Let's get to our next one.
MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns will have the opening kickoff next. Gabriel's going to go play action, has to throw across his body, gets it. It's David Njoku. 40, 50. One man to beat, and he's going to score. There's a flag thrown here. Isaiah Williams has his seat. Williams inside Cleveland territory, and he's going to score. And in motion is Taylor. Play action for Fields. Going to sling one, and it is picked. Right around the 40. 22. Play action. Gabriel going to go for it all to the end zone, and it is caught. Jerry Jeudy. Done by Devin Bush, their second leading tackler. Fields, hit on the release, gets it out to Hall. Open real estate. Touchdown. Long yard. Gabriel won't get it off. McDonald.
And the tank bowls of all tank bowls, the Jets are the ones who are superior in a game that I am not surprised went the way it did, as the Browns fall to 2-7, now are in the complete cellar of the division. I mean, I guess they had a shot to not be, but still, they're now 2-7. They will be playing the Ravens at home next week, which is a very fun game that I will be talking much about next week. Jets, they're moving along without their 2 best defensive players. They obviously just traded, but they are now going to be playing the Patriots on a short week at Foxborough, which would be an absolutely hilarious way for them. I don't know what the heck that was, but for them to get their 3rd win of the season. They've done one back-to-back, though, which is pretty crazy, because they haven't done that since week 2 and week 3 last year, in which that second win was against the Patriots on Thursday Night Football. So who knows? Maybe something different will happen. Dylan Gabriel, honestly, guys, he just went to good old reliable with his legs in this game. He didn't. He took care of the football somewhat well. He definitely missed some throws, very easy throws. But other than that, again, Dylan Gabriel much needed to bounce back from whatever that game was in New England a couple weeks ago. They couldn't really run the ball well. Quinshon Judkins maybe had 2 decent runs. Again, that really wasn't something that, again, I looked at as a strength in this game. They were sort of competitive, which was, again, I guess a good thing. Great decision by Stefanski. Again, I'm not trying to say he was a good play caller, but as a head coach, to not be calling plays because obviously Jerry Jeudy had his best game in months. Yeah, I like the Corley wrinkle. Malcolm Corley, those two plays were very cool. I mean, one of them really wasn't that good, but still, keeping the defense guessing a little bit. Also, Ronnie Hickman, I had the easiest pick ever. I mean, guys, unless you're like, again, obviously the actual physical play wasn't, again, the easiest, but he got, Justin Fields got read like a book on his first pick of the season. Malik Collins, I was not expecting him to have the game he had. Myles Garrett, again, he can do whatever he wants. Schlesinger was really, really good. Yeah, him and JOK, if JOK even is still, again, remotely alive, being Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, those guys could be some really fun guys to watch in the future. Also, the Browns have lost 14 straight games in a row. Their last one was last year in Jacksonville in Week 2. Just trying to mention that. Also, Jets, this really didn't look like a tank. I mean, yeah, it did on offense. Again, the fact to put up 27 points, I was very stunned by. But considering they had a punt and kick return touchdown, first time they've done that since 1960, really was the reason why. Again, they had 169 nice yards on offense. Breece Hall, again, is doing the best what he can with this offense. Again, they only had a combined a little over first down from everyone except Breece Hall on that one touchdown he had. Defensively, honestly, guys, they were very good. Obviously, Will McDonald looked like an elite player with 4 sacks in this game. The secondary was very aggressive. Were they good? Not great, but still, we were able to get it done in this game. Yeah, back-to-back. No, I already talked about that. Yeah, that's really about it for this game. They did do a good job, even though, Fields threw for 54 yards on 11 attempts. But I think Sam Darnold had 12 attempts and threw for like 140. So, I mean, Justin Fields is pretty close there. That's all I got for you guys this game. Now that this next one was absolutely wild, but no one's talking about it because both these teams are irrelevant.
It's Week 10, and the NFL on CBS brings us to Houston, AFC South, the Jaguars, and the Texans.
That success doing in the past. Mills, and anticipated and picked off. Stepping in front, Jarian Jones. These two teams have been decided by one score. Smith, the return man. Oh, he loses the ball!
On ones. Looks like Will might have one up top.
Lawrence, he will fire back in the end zone. It's handled. Parker Washington.
Got all of these from the 28-yard line.
Expose him! Moved by Washington.
Parker Washington! He's going the distance!
Touchdown!
Finally, the time they get in.
Second and goal. Go to the outside. Marks.
Perfect.
He gets there for the touchdown. At the Houston 49. Lawrence will soft toss it and stepping in front for the pick. Will operate from the gun. It's a handoff. ETN knifes his way for the score. Lawrence deep drop. Steps up. And that one is skied.
Hoped it would.
Third down and 10. Mills, pocket holds up. Mills to the end zone. Higgins has got it for the touchdown.
Conversion.
Mills. And Will to Collins. Mills. Hooks a pass. Back in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Dalton Schultz.
Rush Walker.
Steps up. He's going to run. Mills looking for the pylon. He's got the angle. Touchdown, Texans. Drop. Lawrence steps up.
There it is.
He's going to run.
There it is.
Lawrence ducks out of bounds as he hits the 45s. He's sacked, and it's over. Will Anderson Jr. gets there.
And the Texans get a win in what will be one of the more forgotten, wildest games in NFL history as they knock off the Jags with a couple of late scores. Again, this is definitely more of like a Rams-Eagles sort of finish in terms of the final score. As the Texans come all the way back, knocking off the Jags 36-29. Again, very similar game to that Rams and Eagles game. Also a scoregami in this game. But other than that, guys, I will be talking about the Saints-Panthers game later. This and that game were definitely the least mentioned I've heard, other than, again, the Tank Bowl. But still, Texans moved to 4-5, saved their season with their backup quarterback. They must beat the Titans next week. If they lose that game, I am so out on them. But maybe not. I don't know. Jags, you're in for a rough one. You got the best defense in football. I'm joking. They got the Chargers at home next week. But put your crap together, though. As, again, the Jags were 64-0, had never lost, being up by 18 or more points in any game in their team's history, but obviously being up 29-10 going into the fourth quarter in this game. And due to 26 unanswered by the Texans, they ended up losing this game. Obviously, the last touchdown was a bad beat with Trevor Lawrence doing whatever the hell he could to lose them the game on that last play. As, I don't know, Will Anderson forced it, and then obviously I think it was Daniel Hunter with this pick six or whatever it was to end it. But anyway, for the Jags, Yeah, would have had a 70% playoff chances. Again, these are very skewed stats. I hate playoff percentages. They're really, really freaking stupid. Well, we'll definitely look at them. There's definitely some good ones. Obviously, playoff.com. We'll get, guys, Thanksgivings, we'll get into all the playoff crap. But obviously, we'll look at this division. Jags and Texans right here. They're right here. But obviously, the season series tied here as well. But again, the Jags had a really good shot to stay again with the Colts in the division. That does not look like it's going to be happening. Best case, they're 2 games back with 2 games to play against them again next week, which is still a possibility. They don't have to have an upset win, though. But anyway, back to this. What I say percent, but they still have the Chargers, Broncos, and Colts twice. It's on their schedule. I didn't like that. My bad. I like that Trevor Lawrence didn't try to force things because even though obviously, no, that's a lot. Even though he didn't have his top 4 weapons, I mean, guys, Packer Washington was his best guy in this game, and Jacob Myers didn't even know how to run 3 routes in this offense. Trevor Lawrence did do again decent job in that facet. Other than that, though, yeah, ETN didn't get the right looks. Situationally, I think there are definitely some plays they could have gave him the ball. They just decided not to. Like there was, get him a screen on this play. They just didn't do it. Washington is underrated, but he's obviously not a legit wide receiver. I mean, guys, they were putting him in the one look there. I don't know what they're trying to do with him at the X. But anyway, tackles got cooked. Yeah, they were absolutely atrocious in this game. Anton Harrison, whoever the heck they had a left tackle in this game. I'll be honest, I don't even remember. Jaguars, who's their left tackle right now? Why do we have that coming up? Walker Little, they were just absolutely atrocious in this game. There's really no other way to put it. We'll talk about the Cardinals later. They didn't have that a good situation there either. But on that, yeah, no pressure from this Jacksonville D-line. They did absolutely nothing. I mean, I guess they had a sack from Eric Armstead, but again, Antonio Johnson, former A&M guy. That's a guy, again, if you know this guy, is your niche for that. But Jerry Jones with the pick, and you also know ball. But that's all I got there. Yeah, secondary has to play their leverage over the middle because they did get cooked by Davis Mills in those one-read plays there. But for Davis Mills, he was very accurate. The interception was ugly, but other than that, I mean, again, he got read like a book. It was so bad. You guys saw that in the highlights. But he was awesome. Running game, they ran the ball better than they have in a while. I would have thought if they ran the ball a little bit more, despite getting a little bit of skew in terms of the stat line there, that it would have definitely benefited them. But again, they got down early, so what did you expect? Davis Mills had a touchdown run again, the game winner there. That was pretty ugly to watch. Second biggest comeback in franchise history as well. D came through late, and they didn't have the greatest first half by any means to get 20 points, but this defense is obviously the best in the entire NFL when they're on, not even when they're on, they are. Daniel Hunter went absolutely bonkers. Will Anderson finished the game like the way you need to. Stingley pick was gross. Yeah, that was actually crazy. I think I didn't chart this completely, but from what I saw and what I ran it through the AI and the statistics, not the statistics, I cross-checked it. He had to have a 0.0 rating against. That was not really what I was going to go for. I was more the yards per coverage snap. But yes, that also probably happened too, even though I don't really like rating. But for cornerbacks, it's not the worst thing. Yeah, other than that, O-line, they had their best game this season. I don't really think that was that even comparable. They were really good. Is this team finally going to get going? I'm going to keep saying that. It's probably not going to happen, but who really knows? Texans had 400 yards of offense. Outgained almost double the Jags yardage. Both teams had 2 ugly turnovers. But again, big-time third down conversions in the fourth quarter. Got the Texans W. Congrats, but you guys need to not glow next week. But other than that, yeah. Our next game is... Oh, these next 2 games are bad.
Huge win over the Detroit Lions. But the 2-time MVP, Lamar Jackson, is fully healthy and pushing the Ravens on the road back. He'll rush inside, he'll rush on the edge. McCarthy on third down, floating it up for Naylor, and he drops a dime! Naylor with a move and a stiff arm, still on his feet. It's Jones to the left, and Jones to the end zone. They set it up for Jefferson with blockers in front. Now he'll throw it back the other way to McCarthy. And McCarthy will run. Breaks 1 tackle. Breaks a second. 6. Steps away. McCarthy floating it for Jefferson downfield. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Malachi Starks. On 3rd and 1, McCarthy looking deep. Down the middle, Jefferson and Humphrey get tangled up, and it's an interception by Marlon Humphrey. Price across the 20-yard line and good coverage by the Ravens. The ball's out. The ball popping out at the 23-yard line. Run in after the catch. And Justice Hill to the goal line, trying to burrow in for the touchdown. This would be an NFL law. Good snap and hold, and the kick is wide to the left. Jackson on the roll, back of the end zone, and it is caught. Mark Andrews under pressure. Somehow he gets away. And McCarthy will throw on the run, and a juggling catch is made inside the 10. McCarthy to the back of the end zone. It's Naylor reaching out. He got his feet in. It's a touchdown. McCarthy. Clock continuing to wind. McCarthy directed traffic. All kinds of time running off. He throws incomplete.
And despite the Ravens' offense not really giving you much, they were able to figure it out and win this ugly one, 27-19. Again, denied the Vikings late points despite being up 27 to 13 or at some point. Whatever though, they get their third straight win, moved to 4-5 before they set up a very winnable matchup next week in Cleveland. But again, who really knows? Vikings fall to 4-5 in a really frustrating fashion as they will have to host the Bears next week in a game that'll probably end the exact same way as this one. But for the Ravens, yeah, whatever you need to gets it done. I mean, Lamar obviously didn't have to do too much in this game. I mean, didn't have to. He didn't have his best game in this one. A lot of his throws were underneath, and if they weren't really getting much done. Derrick Henry, again, not really the most efficient game still. I think put up a decent stat line there. Lamar obviously took the ball 9 times. Not really. It was more like 4. A couple of those were coverage sacks-ish, or just scrambles. They also only get one touchdown on defense. Vikings really struggle to finish off drives. So similar to what we saw from Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago on Sunday night against the Packers. Yeah, while they did force 3 turnovers, again, it wasn't really created. Again, created equal to the 6 in the last 2 before. Again, I will say, guys, they have had 6 turnovers the last 2 games, but again, none of them have really been created equal. Again, those 2 picks that J.J. McCarthy threw were literally arm punts. But again, they did only have 4 in the first 7 games. So again, it looks better. Also, they have allowed 17 or less points for 4 straight games, which is the longest in football. Thanks to again the Rams not being able to stop teams in garbage time. I'm joking. Rams defense, you guys did fine. Flowers was explosive, but everyone left a lot to be desired. Yeah, guys, I love it again. Rashad Bateman not clutch touchdown. Mark Andrews had the touchdown. I don't even know what the hell happened there. But yeah, I don't know, guys. None of these guys were receiver unit. Tight end really did much. Again, it really only guys said that they're making plays with Zay Flowers, as you might expect them to. It's all out there though. Defensively, again, we already kind of talked about them. Yeah, Lamar understand what the game was. DBs were elite. They did do a very, very good job again locking up those receivers. Other than that one bobble play, but what are you gonna say there? Yeah, second straight road win after not winning a road game. I was reaching on that one, but still wanted to add something there. Jaden McCarthy, him and Justin Jefferson in this game, there was a massive disconnect. I don't know if it was the week of preparation, the fact they actually faced a legit secondary, but yeah, JJ and Justin Jefferson, they gotta get back on the same page. If not, yeah, JJ's not gonna really be the starting quarterback next year. It's pretty obvious there. His interceptions, I don't really think he gave a crap on those. Honestly, I can't really blame him. One of them was actually not a bad pick. The Marlon Humphrey one was hilarious, but the other one I kind of could live with. Even though people go, oh, we could have ran all this, guys. Let him throw arm punts. Running game, they didn't run the ball. I don't know what the hell they were trying to do there. I mean, yeah, only really one run was explosive. Jordan Mason getting 4 carries is abominable for my fantasy team, but like I don't know why I'm still starting. To be honest with you guys, I'm kind of just I don't have a second running back right now. But Bucky's injured. Like what else am I gonna tell you guys? Yeah, 4-5 or 7-2. I think there's some sort again or better. They were 8-1 like back in 2022, but they've had one of those 2 records every year since 2021. Naylor was awesome, 5 for 124 and a touchdown. He actually had a great game, best game of his career. Hawkins and Thielen didn't even block you. They were absolute donuts out there. I usually don't say that about guys that good. Jalen Redmond had his best career game. He was an absolute bitch against the run there. Yeah, they just didn't run the ball either against Vikings. Jonathan Grenard couldn't establish the speed rep as well. That is his number 1 pass rush move, and he is not doing it. He just didn't get that thing going. 13 penalties and does erase the 6.0 yards per play. They were really, again, explosive at some points, but it really doesn't matter when you take 13 penalties and turn it with the ball 3 times. That's all I got from the Vikings, though. All I got from this ugly game. Now let's get to another ugly one that no one really cared to talk about, except unless the Panthers won by 50, which obviously didn't happen.
Here come the Panthers in Charlotte, Week 10, and they are red hot, hosting their NFC South Division rival, New Orleans Saints.
Young fires and intercepted. Inside, that's DeMario Davis, the 20, and he takes it all the way back out. Since week 5, he's led the league. Goes back to him. Rico Dalrymple is in for a Carolina touchdown. Chuck has a moment, goes deep down the sideline, and the catch is made, and taking it in is Chris Olave for a Saints touchdown. Rookie Ryan Fitzgerald blocked from 48 yards away. The attempt at a ball is fumbled. And the Saints are on it. Slot as a receiver. Chuck is going to be sacked. A big play by the Panthers defense. Nick Gordon. And Bryce Young throws one and it's intercepted.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Warden has come back out on defense. Chuck
will chuck it and throw. And it's Jawan Johnson down near the goal line.
And the Saints get their second win of the season, their first road win since week 14 of last year in New York as they upset the Panthers. Not really, I kind of saw this coming, even though I didn't pick the Saints. 17-7, I don't even think, again, I'm just lying on that. But still, Saints upset the Panthers 17-7, what was an absolutely atrocious game. Panthers fall back to 500-5-5, snap their 4-game winning streak with Bryce Young starting the game, as they have now played absolutely atrocious on offense the past 2 home games, and honestly defensively as well in a lot of ways. But next week they head to Atlanta for a must-win game before they have an absolutely brutal stretch where they'll in fact have to play the Rams, Niners, and someone else that I'm not really trying to recollect. But that Niners game will be Monday night for the whole country, which I think is an absolute sin from the NFL there. But for the Saints, they're on their bye week next week. They can worry about some other things. Tyler Shough had the best Saints starting quarterback performance since, I don't know, maybe Derek Carr sometime last year. I don't really remember. Probably that game he had in week 2 last year. But again, 19-27, 282, 2 touchdowns. He was absolutely awesome. He was awesome. Chris Olave had a 62-yard touchdown on blown coverage from, I think it was J.C. Horn. I don't really remember. Alvin Kamara, he had his best game of the season. I think he had well over 100 scrimmage yards there. Jawan Johnson, I'm pissed I didn't start him in fantasy. He will be starting for me after a bye week for fantasy unless, again, I don't know, Hunter Henry's 50 points or something next week. But anyway, yeah, they ran the ball with Devin Neal a little bit as well. I really like the variance on this offense. Also, the first win in franchise history with rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach, which I thought was really interesting. Also, the first win with a rookie quarterback since 1980. Ball knowledge. All right. Moore had a great game plan to move off of J.C. Horn and have a short game to fall back on if they needed to. Again, a lot of their productive plays were on short, pass designs. On that, again, linebackers balled out. They all did awesome. Whereas DeMar Davis, he had a really good game. The interception, not the interception, the freaking pick from Alontae Taylor was really good. There's, again, DBs did a really good job. Also, Nathan Shepard had a pretty good game. Again, this is very inaccurate data, but he definitely had 3 pressures. I know that. But again, the 7.8%. I don't really. There might have been some plays where he wasn't on the field, but again, that's from what I got. It might be a little bit more than that. But on that's all I got for the Saints. They I think that is. But let's see. I think it is all I got though. Yeah, that's all I got. Panthers definitely a lot more to talk about. Not really. Again, I said you expect them to be able to beat the Saints. Again, in a pretty decent situation, but they did not do that because Bryce Young was absolute ass. He threw a pick, which was really bad. But again, most of the game he just simply wasn't making any sort of the throws he needed to. Also, he took a couple bad sacks. Again, he only took 2 technically, but it really was an absolutely atrocious game from him. He couldn't really do much of anything. Rico Dowdle finally got again not utilized. But again, this is at least from what I wrote down last night. Dowdle can't be used as a push and go back, which basically this means the O-line pushes up and then your running back bounces outside or makes the decision to stay up the middle. He's just not that guy. Must show diversity in shotgun / downhill designs to allow for again the ice to be available. An isolated run scheme is basically where you isolate one hole or one weakness in the defense, and usually this is what the quarterback diagnoses, and then he checks into that run play. And I'll call it cheat code again. If you have the right guys up front, you do have it. Panthers usually do. Chandler Zavala, who's been an absolutely phenomenal run blocker this year, being out was an issue, but I can't really blame that completely on him because he obviously isn't. Again, he's not like Quentin Nelson with the Colts. But that was a big issue in this game for them because they could not isolate any sort of spot because how fast the Saints were winning. And also, again, when you don't have diversity, again, teams are just going to, completely, I don't completely say stack the box because it wasn't all of that. It was more of fitting the run well, being disciplined, and the fact that, again, the Saints were able to win up front consistently was what really made Rico Dowdle have a tough game. And they just don't go in the shotgun with that variance. And the fact that that is the case makes it really easier for a defense to, again, be predicting what's going to happen. Bryce Young obviously not being able to throw the ball didn't help either. Ted McMillan was the only guy getting open. None of these other receivers did jack. Where did Hunter Renfrow go? Is he even on this team anymore? He is, I guess. Is he on the depth chart? Because I did not see him out there at all this game. Maybe they were running like 2 routes, right? Yeah. I guess he was out there. I don't know why they have 7 receivers. But anyway, this game had a lot of bad things going on. The defense didn't show up for most of it as well. I mean, the Saints had like 400 yards of offense, controlled the clock. Panthers, this is an absolute dud. If you want to win next week, don't do this. No, please do this. No, don't do this. Win, please. But anyway, now we get to one of the headliner games of Sunday.
Send the Chicago Bears on a cold and windy day in Chicago. Welcome inside Soldier Field. We're ready to rock. Williams will look to throw for.
He's flushed, pressured by Lawrence, throws on the move to the end zone. DJ Moore, incomplete.
He's been the best running quarterback in the NFL since his debut.
Short roll, tries to run, but nowhere to go.
He's a fullback to lead the way from a
Manungai, who's got a seam, and he's got a touchdown. Kyle Manungai carrying the momentum from Cincy.
Less impactful than marrying the two together.
Down the sideline, Dart's throw is caught by Slayton.
for the Giants.
Third down, it is Dart, and Jackson darts in for the Giants touchdown. Fake to Singletary, Dart to throw, wants his tight end, Bellinger, and he's got him. Ripped away at the last moment.
Fourth down, avoiding special teams at all costs. Nobody's picked one up yet.
Swift breaks a tackle and will change that with authority.
2nd and 10.
Dart runs, throws on the move, and it's picked up by Wright. Now he dropped it.
Combined, so clearly emphasized.
He's got it right here, and he's got another touchdown. Jackson Dart. And today it's a naked boot and wide open space for Jackson Dart.
Make the wait worth it.
Dart looking to find room himself again. Blockers in front. Jackson Dart inside the ball is out, and there it is. Singletary out of the backfield, got hit. Stayed alive and got a first down. He's still going. Singletary inside the 35.
Just a 3-man rush.
Williams dancing around. Williams again gets away from Thibodeau. Caleb Williams throws incomplete.
And it's picked up. Williams.
Flush. Williams room to run. There goes Caleb Williams. There goes Caleb Williams.
Great on this drive.
Clock line's under 4.
End zone wide open. Odunze for the Bears touchdown. And Chicago not finished yet.
3 minutes to go. They got some work to do.
Gillen to punt.
And it's off the side of his foot. What a disaster of a day for Jamie Gillen. Caleb Williams into the end zone. Did he stay in bounds? Still no signal.
And
pressure coming. Picked up. Arm hit as he threw a ball game. The Bears somehow, some way, continue to find a way.
And hopefully, as y'all already know, if you watched the intro, the Giants are no longer having Brian Daboll do the coaching for them, as he was absolutely tossed out the window as after 20-40-1. I think that was his record in 4 seasons with the Giants. Only 1 season where they even remotely good. That was back in 2022, where obviously they made the playoffs, beat the Vikings there with Danny Dimes. And then obviously the past couple years have been absolutely atrocious. And after their 3rd straight 2-8 start, they have fired him as a crucially brutal decision to not only not go for the touchdown, but with it being on the 1-yard line on that 4th and goal, taking the field goal, playing not to lose. Perfect situation. They ended up not playing not to win, and instead of playing to win, they played not to lose, and they ended up losing the game because they're playing the freaking Bears. But anyway, Jackson Dart got absolutely just crapped on in this game. Like, that was an absolutely brutal hit. Not really, but it was not a good hit, as he again ran for 2 touchdowns, ran the ball 6 times for 66 yards. Where's 6-7, bro? That is absolute rage bait right there. But not really, because he got injured. So yeah, Jackson, realistically, you're probably not going to play for a minute, so I mean, I guess that's okay. The Giants do have to play the Packers next week, so it won't be the worst thing if you didn't play. Russell Wilson did absolutely nothing out there. If it wasn't for Devin Singletary doing whatever the hell he did on that one play, the Giants offense did absolutely nothing. Again, the last play of the game kind of summarized how it is with Russ in this offense, at least with the guys they have right now. Darius Slayton got injured, came back, had a really another nice catch, 4 for 89. He's not really the only guy in this offense making plays. I will say Theo Johnson was pretty decent underneath. Juan Robinson, typical slot numbers for him. He is literally just a slot receiver, guys. If you had him in any offense, he'd be great in the slot, but he does need at least guy like Malik Neighbors. Darius Slayton there also is okay, but Juan Robinson is your number 1 guy. And if he's your 4th receiver, that's even better. Again, if you put him with the Rams as their 4th receiver, that isn't a bad situation to be in. But anyway, Talon Tracy ran the ball really well. I did like what this offensive line did. Devin Singletary just simply didn't break any tackles or get up the field fast enough. I think this game was his performance was mostly on him. But again, at the same time, Daboll wasn't really calling good plays either. Yeah, Greg Olsen kind of called everything that was going to go on there. They got to run contain on defense as well. They didn't really do that at all in this game. I mean, again, we talk about the DeAndre Swift run, but that was hilarious. Yeah, Slayton's the only guy that can make plays in this offense. Also, Deontay Banks is awful. He is so bad, guys. You don't understand. They picked him in the 1st round 2 years ago. I wasn't expecting him to be great to start. He didn't somewhat promising rookie season, but if I'm not mistaken, my casual for this one, I swear 2023 was his rookie season, right? Thank God. As a rookie, he wasn't terrible. He was absolutely a joke last year. He couldn't tackle or do anything. He just had absolutely no motivation last season. And then this season, he's been even worse in a lot of ways. I mean, coverage maybe not so much technically, but again, the Giants are just absolutely terrible. They're still probably not even the worst team in the division right now. But still, the Giants are a disaster. For the Bears, this is not a sustainable way to win. I talked about with the Broncos on Thursday. They've now won more games than won all of last year. They've won 6 of 7. I had to mention that. They got the Vikings next week on the road. They do need to start to play good football on offense out of maybe one drive for the first 3 quarters. They will not be continuing to win games. They have some big games coming up. They do this, they will absolutely get blown out. Caleb, though, is pretty patient underneath. He made a couple nice throws, but still isn't really reading the field whatsoever. Obviously ran the ball really well for 63 yards. The game-winning touchdown. Kyle Manung guy was good. Janice Smith, again, didn't have anyone try to tackle him, but other than that, he was pretty good. Yeah, this run game was a little misleading as well. I don't think they had their 171-yard, outburst, or like how they had last week. Again, the Giants didn't have a good running defense. Roma Dunes had his best game in months. Coastal Level continues to play decent. Again, at least off of last week. But other than that, though, this is also their best 9-game records, or 9-game starts since 2018. Tight ends did play well. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is a very dynamic guy for this defense. You have to watch out for him. Montez Sweat played pretty well. Take away on this defense. Yeah, he continues to have a strong stretch. Kale taking the ball is again he's doing that, but again he starts running the ball like a loaf with a loaf of bread. Yeah, is this sustainable? It's not in my opinion, but again, it's definitely a question to ponder. That's all I got from the Brian Daboll firing game. Our next one, it was definitely a blur on one side.
Well, JB, there he is, the second-year signal caller who has led the Patriots to 6 consecutive wins, sitting atop the AFC East. Another first down, little play action. He's looking deep, now comes to the right side. Abuka is in for the touchdown. Tony, you're right, going down the field, they got the big play. There he goes, running down the sideline is Williams. Williams, the rookie, has the touchdown. Looking that way, throws it, end zone, Diggs, did he get the feet down? Yes, he did. Of the second half. Here's Henderson, up ahead and taken off. He might not be caught inside the 20 to 10, and the rookie takes it home. New England rushing 4. Baker steps up in the pocket, now flush, now throws, and it's caught. It's caught on the sideline in the end zone. Going to go deep again. He's got a man open, and it's caught in stride by Hollins. Tackled at the 5-yard line. He's got time. Now throws. And he's intercepted in the end zone. Win. Mayfield in trouble. And he can't get away. The Patriots come up with a sack. I don't know about that. Yeah. They toss it.
I didn't love it.
Henderson got away. He's got a chance to show off that speed. Henderson breaks a second one for a touchdown. Baker stepping up and fires. End zone. Caught. Touchdown.
And the Patriots get their second legit road game of the season as they continue on this absolutely torrid stretch as they win their 7th straight game and is their tie for the longest streak since 2019. Again, with that 2021 season. Also, that 2019 season last year with Tom Brady, they started out 8-0. That was the last in the 8 straight games. They're set up to do that on a short week, again, playing the Jets at home this week. But on the other side for the Bucs, they fall to 6-3. They've now lost 3 games. My bad. All 3 of their losses. There we go. Have had their offense struggle to put up points. Again, you look back to the Eagles game, they didn't really do much for most of that. The Lions game, they just got boat raced. And then this one, not really too much going on either. So they fall to 6-3, but good news for them, they have the Bills on the road next week in front of the whole country. But other than that, for Drake, man, everyone's talking about he's going to win MVP and all this crap. I really don't think, for me at least, he has played to that level on a consistent enough basis to say he is a true MVP favorite. Is he in that conversation? I don't know, guys. It's freaking week 10. We'll talk about it later. But he wasn't very accurate in this game. The completion percentage, again, usually I don't harp on this too much when you have a pretty solid game, but it definitely wasn't really getting completely on in this game. The interception, again, in bigger games, not really bigger games. This was a big game. What am I talking about? I'll stop hating, guys. He had a decent game. But other than that, he's not playing as well as you might think he is. Trey Van Henderson, 55 yards, 70 freaking yard touchdown. Again, fourth rookie ever with 2 long touchdowns in the game. Not to mention another guy, Kyle Williams, who again, these 3 guys are 2 of the fastest guys in the league. I knew Kyle Williams had some burners, but I really wasn't expecting this out of him on that touchdown. But again, they have 2 of the faster guys in the league. Smoking your mirrors with Kyle Williams is really what I'd like to see out of him. But again, we'll see how they use him. But honestly, guys, I'm not going to try to hate too much of this Patriots team. Again, enjoy your win, guys. But still, at the same time, there's definitely some concerning things for me here. Again, Matt Collins, again, if he did not ball out, this receiving offense would not really be that great. Stephon Diggs, again, did have a tough game. He got bracked in most of it. Again, did have a nice touchdown, though. Great catch. But again, they did not really have that same element with Kayshon Boutte 9 here, because he is a guy that does spread the field and gets open consistently, which makes it hard on defenses consistently be able to cover everybody. But honestly, this offensive line played awesome, too. I don't really have too much to get off of other than that, though. Also, they're one of 2 unbeaten teams on the road so far this season. Again, they had 3 touchdowns over 50 yards. The great closeout for this game as well. That is how I want to see NFL, legit teams win games. Again, that Trey Van Henderson run was, again, what did it. Outside, yeah, that's what I talked about there. Yeah. Honestly, guys, for Hunter Henry, bro, I'm gonna have to pick up Juwan Johnson, bro. And that, again, he'll be playing next week because I don't have Juwan Johnson in his bye, but still. Yeah. Interior defensive line, yeah, about the defense. Yeah, I don't care about this defense, honestly. Too much to talk about now. Yeah, honestly, there's something to do. We'll get into it on Wednesday for the power rankings. But anyway, for the Bucs, yeah, against stiff fronts, which basically means the D-line is not letting you scramble. That's probably the best way to put it. Baker keeps dropping his eyes and just getting sacked. It's just kind of funny to watch. Not really funny. It's annoying to watch. Bro, stop rage baiting us. Yeah, they do need to get Bucky back badly. Really just for my fantasy team, but realistically still, because they can't really run the ball for crap. Abuka was awesome early. He had a really nice touch. Not really nice touchdown. He was wide open. It was coverage bust. But still, he had a good game. O-line, plus the right tackle struggled to get any leverage. Again, decent maintenance and pass protection. But again, realistically, the offensive line didn't do anything for these running backs, which again is never really a good thing. But again, other than that, for the Bucs, there are some things to talk about. Yeah, offensive line, I already talked about. The offense hasn't showed up in these big games. They also haven't really been good since week 6. And yeah, he did step up. He had a big game. So yeah, 9 for 82. Again, this is not going to be talked about again. The production is a little bit inflated, but still really good. They don't have, a guy in the secondary with true safety traits. I'm going to talk about, again, Antoine Winfield Jr. is one of the more versatile guys in the league. But yeah, he does not have the burners to keep up with a guy like Kyle Williams or, Trey Van Henderson. Yeah, good defensive play on 3rd down. Again, there's a lot of other sugarcoating things I can say, but pretty simple. This pass rush didn't get it done. They did have 1 sack. So, yeah. That's all I got for the Bucs. Disappointing game. Patriots, big time win for y'all. Now let's get to an absolute just arse-whooping.
From Seattle, CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the 35. The fake to Walker, who offers a block. And then going deep and looking inside the flat. Smith and Chipper with the grab. And so he's not out there right now. Charbonnet, blocked by Lucas. The broken tackle at the 5. He broke the tackle of Burke. He finds the open receiver. And here he goes with the catch and a run. Cooper Kupp breaking tackles on the way. Thompson will hold him out.
You change up the personnel group that you go back behind your 5.
It's Charbonnet. Hurdling. Diving. Touchdown. 4th and goal. Was set. Knight. What a goal line stand by Seattle.
Ball's out.
It sure is. It's a direct snap to Dortch. DiMercado a block. He'll slice in for 6. There they come, rushing 5. Roy gets blocked, and there's the pass out of the backfield. Hurdling, flies, and Brissett. He's got time. Oh, here comes the blocked away. Here he is at his 2, and the ball deflected, wobbles, intercepted. Picked off on the play, grabbed by Burke. 5-man rush, gets it off to McBride, breaks a tackle. And he's in. Kobe Bryant couldn't tackle him at the 5 team. And Darnold Blocked by Lucas. Another fumble. It's loose and picked up by the Cardinals. Brissett, four-man rush. End zone.
Oh,
and Harrison. Nope. Made the back.
Run.
Third down and 1. Look at DeMarcado go! It's a galloping race with Pritchett. At the 9, second down and goal. And caught Harrison. That is a touchdown.
And one of the more dominant performances of the season, the Seahawks laid that down the hammer, taking a 35-0 lead with like 12 minutes left in the second quarter as they absolutely destroyed the Cardinals, 44-22. The game was not as close as the score did indicate, as the Seahawks took a break, or just left after the first half. Again, with that 38-7 lead, Cardinals, this is their worst game of the season, as they first game they've actually gotten blown out, as they did come into this game with a positive point differential despite the 3-5 record. Now at 3-6, they'll be hosting the Niners next week in a must-win game for any sort of playoff hopes they have. Seahawks have again the game of the year next week in Los Angeles, putting their 11-game road win streak on the line, as they have not lost a road game since Week 4 last year on a Monday nighter versus the Lions, in which they gave up 42 points. So it kind of tells you where they're at right now. For the Cardinals, though, Jacoby Brissett just got absolutely just mauled in this game. This is what I expect him to be playing against a legit team. He did absolutely nothing of, in terms of, I guess second half he didn't roll over and die, but still, guys, first half he was absolutely overwhelmed. Again, for a veteran quarterback to be able to have that happen to him, pretty crazy. Running game, not even talk about, they could not run the ball to save their life in the first half, and that's part of the reason they got absolutely boat raced. Paris Johnson had his worst game of the season most of the first half. He didn't get benched, right? I think he might have gotten benched for a little bit. He played absolutely horrible in this game. He got absolutely just destroyed. The offensive line did absolutely nothing. They were terrible. Only the guy, I think, who was it, Jonah Williams? He hadn't even played. I forgot. The right tackle didn't do absolutely horrible, though. Keep getting, really the only takeaway from this offense is keep getting Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison the ball. Those are your two best players. Defensively, Jalen Thompson, the only guy who showed up. Everyone else did not. So, yeah, that's what I'll say there. Denzel Burke, cool pick, but, who cares? Seattle, again, Sam Darnold threw the ball 12 times for 178 yards. We talked about how well, again, Justin Fields threw the ball 11 times for 54 yards. This is just crazy. Sam Darnold's having a really good season. I don't think he's in the MVP. No, he is probably in the MVP race, to be honest with you guys. He's playing absolutely bonkers right now. Rams next week, though. You actually struggled against them. You actually played awful against them last year in that wild card. So, we'll see how they play differently this time. They ran the ball up and down the field. I mean, they just absolutely dominated up front in that sense. Shout out to DeMarcus Lawrence for the record. He set for the crazy game he had. Also, Leonard Williams. Both those guys just absolutely were disruptive in this game. They're not exactly the most elite pass rushers together, but again, obviously Leonard Williams gives you premier play there most of the time. But just simply put, guys, these guys disruptive and absolutely phenomenal as run defenders. This secondary has to play, their A game next week against the Rams. They can't, again, I think they were good, definitely really good in this game, but there are definitely some plays where they gave way too much separation. If that happens next week, they will give up 400 yards of offense, if not more. This is, again, they have been on the cusp like the Rams. Again, they're playing next week in every game. Again, their only losses were, again, crazy loss to the Bucs here, and then also crazy loss to the Niners back in Week 1. That was one of the better games of the season. But anyway, for the Seahawks, offensively, again, like I said, Cooper Kupp, he looks old. Seattle has never won a game at SoFi with Matthew Stafford playing against them, which again is their only opportunities. Not really, my bad. When the Seahawks played the Rams backup quarterback, they have not beaten them. There we go. Multiple defense in the league, and like I said, they have 6 or 7 legit every down fronts, which is very, very hard to play against. But that's all I got for you guys in this game. This guy's an absolute arse at the end of the day. Seahawks obviously making their case for the best, for the number 1 spot this week in the power rankings. But that's all I got there. Time for the Lions and Commanders thing.
Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions get set to take on Marcus Mariota and the Washington Commanders. Goff on second down, over the middle, into the end zone. Touchdown, Jahmyr Gibbs. Goff on the slant to St. Brown. He is in for a Lions touchdown. Gibbs cuts to the outside, turns the corner. Still going, into the end zone. Touchdown. For the first time this season, going for 2. Goff hands it off. Montgomery is in. Second down to 9. Mariota fires downfield, and it is caught. Field.
Mariota hands it off. Rodriguez walks it in for a Commanders touchdown. From the Washington 14 on first down. Goff, Williams, he's been the main target during this series, and he is in for a Lions touchdown.
And you really had a good quarterback, didn't you?
He was okay. Drew Brees, he was okay. Future Hall of Fame.
He was
working short.
Let's see what happens.
On fourth down, Mariota throws to the end zone. Touchdown.
Just like he dialed it up.
Samuel. Play action on second down. It's Jamison Williams. And Williams is up the sideline, still going, and finally forced out of bounds.
And the second was commit to this running game between the tackles, which has opened up everything else. And Jahmyr Gibbs going for a touchdown.
Gibbs takes it all the way. His third today. Extra point is blocked. Fourth down and 5. Mariota's pass is caught. Tremendous rookie season. Just ask the Lions. Mariota, touchdown.
And as the final score did show, there were definitely more priorities in this game, other priorities other than the actual game in this one. As Donald Trump rides the Commanders to their fifth straight loss, if I'm not mistaken, as, you know, again, the first game without Jaden Daniels starting, Mariota stunk and all that. Lions with a 6-3 get themselves right with his 44-point outburst, 546 yards, again, game here, best game since week 2. But on that, yeah, Trump, let's go. Jesus, guys, what are we doing in NFL? Also, their best game since week 2, as I just mentioned. J-Mo showed up, best game of his season so far, 6-for-119 and a touchdown. Amon Ross opening up numbers and getting his. Yeah, Gibbs did save my ass in fantasy. He had like 40 points. I needed that so bad. Yeah, I do need Josh Jacobs to get injured. Obviously, not only to be injured. If he gets ejected, pulls Jalen Carter on the first play of the game. What am I talking about? If he pulls Jalen Carter, that would be a very good thing for me. Also, their D lined up. Yeah, their D line didn't do crap in this game again, but they did run some good simulated pressure. So, see how that works next week because they do have the Eagles at home. Commanders, you got to go to Madrid. That's gonna be a long flight there and back probably. But the Commanders, again, they're just done. I don't have much to talk about. Again, I was gonna say a lot about Trump, but really not. I don't know. He was at the game, but again. That was really the only reason this game was somewhat interesting. Honestly, guys, not really much else to say here. I don't have much takeaways in the first place from this one. But Commanders, don't start Jaden Daniels the rest of the year. You don't want to pull off what happened last year. Not last year, but RG3. What was that? Freaking 12 years ago. But yeah, Trump, most interesting part about this game, it was an absolute arse whooping. Lions offense did their thing. Again, absolutely crazy. These are just video games numbers here. But yeah, that's all I got from you guys here. Now let's get to another game that were, again, a lot of points were scored.
Andy for you. The Los Angeles Rams here in Santa Clara to take on the San Francisco 49ers. And we tight end set for the Rams. Kyron Williams left side. He's in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Blitz coming. Stafford kills the blitz. Gets it to Nakua. Breaks the tackle. Puka Nakua on his feet and in. As Jennings has the catch. And it's loose. And the Rams will pick it up. Cameron Kitchens. This goal here. Play pass. Stafford looking slow. Oh, Davis Allen. Touchdown Rams. Jones looks through. Jones pressured his face over the middle. Touchdown, Juwan Jennings. Robinson breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Second and goal. Denver looking that way, throwing that way. Devontae Adams scores again. Touchdown, Rams. First and goal. Pressure up the middle. Jones in deep trouble. Rolls away, throws. It's going to be a touchdown. Farrell had no touchdowns first 4 years, and this is blocked. And then touchdown, Los Angeles. Pressure up the middle. Jones in deep trouble. Knocked away. Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes. The Rams pick it off. And
defense is coming together. Now they got to straighten out their special teams.
Play action, man. Wide open is Colby Parkinson. He walks in. It's another Rams score.
Quarterback plays, keeping him in every week.
3rd and 7. Back Jones first player. Wide open. Kittle makes the catch. Dives for the pylon. Is he in?
And the Rams, their best offensive performance of the year, put up 42 on the Niners, 6 touchdowns, not testing their, field goal unit so far. As they, again, brought Jake McQuaid back, long snapper for the Rams, now back here again. I think it was the Cowboys. But anyway, back on track here. Rams, again, absolute outburst on offense here over the Niners, who, again, were down 21-0 early. Kind of tried to keep pace. They got within one score twice. Weren't able to, again, keep up as the Rams, again, moved to 7-2 with their 4th straight win. And they'll be hosting Seattle in a massive NFC West battle next week. Niners still only a game and a half out here. They'll be hosting the Cardinals next week. And what is he? Not hosting. They'll be heading to Arizona. It was a very sneaky game for them next week. But again, they have a very, 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 again, advantageous schedule coming up. For the Rams, though, Matt Stafford's thrown 20 touchdowns and no interceptions the past 6 games. No other quarterback's ever done that. Also has had 3 straight games with 4 more touchdowns. He's 2 off of Peyton Manning. I don't even know how that's a record. That's just absolutely crazy. Manning threw 4 more touchdowns in 5 straight games. Absolutely crazy. But Stafford has to do that again next week against Seattle and in Tampa in front of the whole country. Also, we'll talk about this later in the week. How the hell are the Rams and Seahawks not in Sunday Night Football or in CBS's featured game? What are we doing? That is the biggest game of the season. It's not even close so far. What are we doing? But anyway, they got to give the ball more to Kyron Williams. They're not going to win next week if they don't do that. I mean, he's again. What are we doing this year there? Kyron though got 2 touchdowns though. No sacks, but they did get decent pressure. Not the greatest. I was a little bit disappointed, but again, they still got pressure. Emmanuel Forbes got another pick. He continues to play well. That's huge. Tackles are sketchy. The past few games, they have not consistently maintained their blocks, which is an issue, but they have been decent as run blockers, which again, I guess is okay. Great pace/tempo early from this offense. That's how they already build up that lead. Tight end/searching personnel is also really fun to watch. Do I have anything else that I just completely missed? Not really. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, I don't want to hold you guys for too long. For the Niners, not really actually as much as you guys would think I'd have to talk about them. Mac Jones played absolutely great. Again, the numbers I think are a little bit inflated in terms of the stat line, but again, the situation he was in, had a good game. Again, when your defense gives you 42 points, you're probably not going to win as a backup quarterback. Running game was absolutely abysmal. It wasn't, again, the fact that, again, they just didn't really commit to it at all, and I don't think they were going to either. So honestly, I can kind of accept that. Brian Robinson, they got something going that one drive, but in that really didn't have much from him. Again, still big drive at the end of the day. D is just, they're just cooked in this game. They got absolutely no pressure. They do, at the end of the day, guys, this secondary is going to have to start performing at a very high level, and a guy like Tatum Bethune is going to have to step up to it, linebacker. Because realistically, guys, this front line will just not get pressure, considering they're literally losing their three best defensive linemen. Obviously, with Malik, and without, again, Fred Warner is a huge issue, but again, Albert Collins being out, they don't really have a true, again, Jordan Elliott to Kevin Givens. Kevin Givens, he's decent, but he really is going to get you consistent pressure there. They're not without the top 2 pass rushers on the edge, and they do need to upgrade a defensive tackle significantly in this offseason, which we'll get to when we need to get there. But realistically, that's all I got for the Niners. Again, there was definitely some things I could talk about, but they're not the end of the day, guys. Niners obviously they just weren't the better team in this game, but at the same time, don't panic too much. You guys can still be competitive. Again, I just want to see what this team looks like when their offense gets completely healthy, which will probably be by week 15, which hopefully they'll have a 10-4 record by. Not on the Rams, hopefully, but again, for their sake. That's all I got there, though. Time for Sunday night.
A warm November evening in beautiful Southern California, and we have 70,000 fans settling into SoFi. Rodgers has it. Flushed, found space, flinging downfield for DK Metcalf. Missed him. Showing pressure. 3 and 4. Rodgers out of the end zone in a little bit of trouble. Dancing away from that. He lost the football. Back from 59. Chris Boswell from 45.
Nope.
Drifting to the right. And that ends his run of 2nd down in the middle. High for Metcalf. Intercepted. He threw it too high, and R.J. Mickens. We're down to 16 seconds left. Herbert throwing inside. Touchdown, McConkey. 5 yards and only 3 first downs. Jalen Warren trying to get it started. Oh, what a leap by Warren. 2 minutes ago. 55. Dicker. Doinker. Chargers bring 4. Rodgers back shoulder throw. Incomplete. For Metcalf. Allen's down. Herbert throws. McConkey's got it. He's gone. McConkey chased by Ramsey. 20. Stops his feet. Cuts back. 1st and goal for the 2. It is Vidal to the left. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Chargers. 47. Inside throw off the hands of Calvin Austin. And into the hands of the Chargers. 50 sacks. muffed. Chargers got it.
Thing that really impacts the game.
3rd and 4, little inside catch and run. Roman Wilson spins into the end zone.
And on Sunday Night Football, the Steelers lay an absolute egg on offenses. They didn't score, get in the end zone until like really late in the game as the Chargers defense dominates this one, winning 25-10. They have now won, what is it now, 3 straight, something like that? I don't know. They'll be, no, that's not true. They'll be playing the, no, that actually is true. They've won 3 straight. They're going to be playing the Jags on the road next week in a crucial game for them as they continue their venture to try to stay with the Broncos top division. Steelers fall to 5-4. They will be, not losing, hopefully, next week against the Bengals for their sake. Again, as I just said with the Niners, I'm going to keep going with that. I mean, not really, because you guys just watched the highlights. Never mind. I'll stop with that. For Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he was absolutely awful in this game. I'm not going to really, again, I don't know if I want to give you guys a real take there. I'm going to be lazy with this one. He was absolutely trash. Multiple interceptions. Couldn't make a throw to, again, with a cold, whatever you want to call that one. Again, defense can't stop a cold. That's what I was trying to make for that one, for Aaron Rodgers. But anyway, back on track here. That was an air ball. Yeah, that was not what you want to see from the Steelers offense, except for Ravens fans who, again, are just smelling the blood in the water there. Yeah, A-Rod, again, when he was improving, the results we've seen from him this year kind of make it so that the risk-reward for this is more the risk, which is not really what you want. And there's really no reward right now. They didn't run the ball, and when they did, I mean, other than that one hurdle from Jalen Warren, really didn't get too much out of it. Caleb Johnson is just an absolute bum right now. Again, really struggling as a rookie. There really wasn't even a rookie wall with him. Also, Rodgers' worst completion percentage is 2021. DK still got open. He wasn't awesome, but again, he did get open. He should have had a touchdown earlier in the game. They've also lost 3 out of the last 4. Baylor ran the ball effectively as well. I think that might be an understatement. And yeah, the defense did their job mostly. I mean, there were some breakdowns in coverage, but outside of that, guys, again, you never really trusted their secondary in the first place, so not really too much you got out of that game from that defense. Chargers offensively, Justin Herbert finally had a really sharp game. Still made a couple mistakes, though. Again, he was pressured on 3rd down, should have made a throw, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, who really cares for that when you win like this? Yeah, O-line did do a decent job. Obviously injured, but still did a good job. McConkey, yeah, he was pretty clutch for me in fantasy. I mean, again, a little bit of the soft thing on there, but yeah, defensively, they're one of the best in football. This game, I think, somewhat proved that. But realistically, guys, Steelers an absolute egg here. Again, there's not really too much else getting here. But that is all I got for you guys here on Sunday Night Football. I hope you guys enjoyed all these games. Get ready for the Monday Nighter. Again, the predictions are out for that. I think, again, if the game started by now, then maybe you guys have watched it. But that's all I got for you guys here. I hope you guys enjoyed the Monday Nighter, and I'll see you guys for the recap of that tomorrow, as well as Power Rankings, which, again, you'll get all the updates on these teams. But again, Brian Dable fired from the Giants. That's all I got for you guys here. Hope you guys enjoyed all these games, and again, hope you guys enjoy these recaps as well.
Another blitz. Mensa, another scramble. He's caught. Ball's loose. UConn has it. The Huskies are going to win this.